Good evening, Gills fans, and welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV for another match preview with myself and Boz. Rotherham this week, no midweek game obviously. There's not been a lot to talk about in fairness really since Northampton. Still no new manager. Mr Wesley's still favourite I believe, but Steve Lovell's odds have shortened.
It does make you wonder though, Wesley's not attached to a club, so if he was the one, you'd think he'd be in by now.
Who was it? I think it was Dave, who works for the channel from time to time, put something interesting on there the other day and said he thinks it might be Evans because
it's
are we waiting for him till the end of the season, or are we waiting for him to leave Mansfield? Because like you just said,
maybe
Wesley and Millen aren't attached to clubs, so why would it take this long if we were seriously interested in getting them in? And like we've said previously in the last, whatever it is, 4 weeks now, isn't it? I know these markets fluctuate, but it's not like Premier League. You only need someone to put 10, 20 quid on a man at this level, and the price drops ridiculously. So we're still no nearer to finding out. I don't think Steve Lovell looks like he's going to be in charge on Saturday as we head up north for a change. Back page of the Medway Messenger. Wilco puts himself in the frame. I'm sure that will please a lot of Gills fans. Apparently he played in a practice game, scored a hat-trick, and Steve Lovell was very pleased with him, has had a strong word with him and said that he believes with his talent that he has got, he should be getting more out of him, and apparently he's responded brilliantly. That's basically the bottom line. I'm not going to go into too much detail. We all have our own opinions on Connor Wilkinson at the moment. Pre-season I thought he looked the prospect, but he's not done anything unfortunately since the season started in earnest. Lovell still unable to call on central defensive pair. That's the other headline on the back page. Ben Nugent is still a few weeks away.
Nugent was supposed to be back this week, weren't he? Last week he was
Luke O'Neill's back, played in the practice game that Wilkinson scored in. Lacey next week, they think. But Ben Nugent is still this one where he kicked the bottom of that player, Scunthorpe? Portsmouth.
It was on TV, yeah.
With bad bruising, so it must be bone bruising, I'm assuming, because that's going to have been 4 weeks this weekend, I think. That was right at the beginning of the month, wasn't it, Pompey? So still unavailable, but Luke O'Neill is back. Excuse me. It said that Bradley Garmston came through it and Mark Byrne as well. So bit of promising news in terms of injuries. We've got 3 back, so that gives us better numbers and better options. Inside we've got Elliot List does the Shouting Men column this week. Everything geared up for first goal, including a celebration that's ready. He was unlucky last week, wasn't he? We've said that one. We said that the Lee Martin side.
I'm seeing with him at the moment. I think he's doing well. I
Everything
but I think he'll be
everything but getting the bit in the back of the net. And he couldn't have got much closer last week. At Peterborough, he said he had one as well. He touches on that and said the boys told him maybe he should have gone down because he got clipped, but he was so intent on scoring that he stayed on his feet. There was a Welby last week, the one that kept him out of the left-footed drive that he got shoveled onto the post. So fine lines, but yeah, as Boz says, hopefully if he gets one, he might go on a run and get a few. So. But it's good to see him being given a chance, and like we've said the last few weeks, it's nice to have some pace in the side.
Yeah, and he's one in the summer we were a bit unsure of, weren't we?
Yeah, I said I wouldn't have been too fussed.
I just thought just because of his age, I just thought he should have broke in, but this is the first run of games he's had.
And he's starting to play well, which is good, yeah. So fingers crossed he can keep kicking on, get that first goal, and we can go from there. Position forward, which is interesting, that's how it is listed, so that seems that is going to be the way with him now, rather than winger that Justin Edinburgh said when he signed. It was Justin that signed him, wasn't it? What do you have for breakfast? A porridge bar. That sounds absolutely disgusting. Last regret, not scoring. Don't like spiders. Last book you read, Saturday's match day programme. Last TV programme you watched, Geordie Short. Oh dear, really. Nicknamed Turbo when he was a teenager because he's so quick. The best mate of the Gills is Greg Cundall. Just a little bit about Elliot List. Attacking policy suits my game. That's Sean Clare talking about how they're enjoying it, him as well, getting the ball down and trying to be on the front foot under Steve Lovell, which we've spoken about already. Says that he's not really played at right back. I think he's been really good there.
He's been for us. He's
probably been our best player consistently for the last few weeks. But defensively, I don't think he's been caught out too many times for someone who's an attacking midfielder.
Obviously at Northampton, he played more defensively rather than trying to get forward.
Yeah, that was where we was almost disappointed that he should have been banging and trying to get over the halfway line, and it weren't really until we started losing that he tried to do it. But yeah, he's been really impressive for me.
It's
since
definitely one of them we need to try and get to the end of the season.
We've only got until January, haven't we? So we really need to start, because it's November next week. So I'd say, we need to start trying to get that sorted out. Interesting piece from Steve Lovell, but similar to what Odie Pennock said when he was waiting around to see whether he was getting the job full time at the end of last season. Steve Lovell has plans in place should he get the nod from Gillingham chairman Paul Scally to continue as manager on a longer term basis. He has prepared the Gills team for the trip to Rotherham on Saturday in what will be his 4th match in charge since taking over from Peter Taylor. But Lovell is also thinking ahead just in case. He said, I'm taking the games, but I've got people giving me lists of players that I'd be interested in January if things are positive. I've got to do that. I have to carry on as I'm the manager. I don't know how long, but I have to do it as I'm going to be here a bit longer. If I can get things in place, then there isn't so much of a problem when the time arrives. Nothing wrong with that at all. I see a little bit. Oh, it says here, former Stevenage boss Graham Wesley remains the bookie's favourite, whilst Martin Allen, Steve Evans and Keith Millen have all been linked. They're just regurgitating stories at the moment of Phil Space. There's not really been any movement. We can win a copy of Mickey Adams' book if you're interested. Gillingham ladies lost again. Struggling at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah,
considering last season they just swept all before them. Lost 4-3 in extra time in the FA Women's Premier League play. Finished 1-1 after 90 minutes, so that's a mad extra time, that one. There's not a great deal, like I say, in terms of news this week because we've not had a game.
There hasn't been anything negative jumping out this week.
See, someone tweeted the other day and said that headline, Bingham gets 6-month ban.
I did see that.
But it was a snooker player, some sort of betting rules he's broken, so not Billy Bingham. We're not in the news for the wrong reasons, thankfully. In terms of Gills in brief, if you're interested, the Checker Trade Trophies tickets are on sale. Won't go into much details on that. Youth team will face Priestfield next Tuesday. We'll not face Priestfield, they will face Portsmouth at the Priestfield next Tuesday. A little bit about Bradley Dack, 3rd goal of the season for Blackburn. We touched on that in our Monday review. And former Gills junior Josh Staunton has been called up to the England C squad for their Challenge Trophy match against Slovakia. The defender, released at the end of 2014-15, is currently plying his trade at Woking. So fair play to Josh and good luck with that. What do we think?
As positive, take out second half against Northampton, we have improved.
We've been a lot better, haven't we? Yeah.
Rotherham generally at home score goals.
Didn't we work it out the other day? Scored 21 in 6 games, so that's about 3.5 a game.
So as much as we've improved, I'm still leaning towards a defeat, and I just don't think we'll score more goals than them, to be honest.
That's the thing, isn't it? If they score a couple, then we're going to find it very hard to win the game.
Well, I think as soon as we can see,
how many times have we scored more than once this season? I can only think of 2 occasions.
Southend.
And Southend. I think that's it.
Southend and Southend.
Yeah, in the Checker Trade.
Oh yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah.
I think that literally is the only 2 times we've scored more than once. Because the other win was Charlton, 1-0.
And Peterborough 1-0, yeah.
And Peterborough 1-0. So it would be tricky. League's top scorer, Kiefer Moore, flying at the moment. But I'm going to be slightly more positive. Not that Boz is being negative, but obviously looking at the form, you have to say that we're massive underdogs. But they finally drew a game last weekend.
They did.
And they conceded quite a few. So I am going to go for a optimistic 1-1 draw.
It's similar to Peterborough, where we thought we were going to go and get beaten. We said anything we get is a bonus. So
yeah, listen,
I'll be honest, I think if we get beat, probably 2-0. But anything we get from there is a bonus because it's tough.
It is, yeah. It's the team's week, just like everyone said last week, was the frustrating one. And if we'd lost to Wigan and beaten Northampton, no one would have batted an eyelid. But the teams we've got to start picking up points are the ones that are around us at the moment because we are.
Anything you get against that top 6 or 7
is an absolute bonus, yeah. So even a point would be a good one. I know it keeps us in the bottom 4 and we're still 4 points from safety. But in terms of a team, would you be inclined to change it? It wasn't an awful performance against Northampton. But
the only thing, no, because that means bringing O'Neill back in. I'd rather see Clare further forward.
So who would you drop?
We haven't been bad at all, like attacking.
That's what I mean.
We could do another Tom Eaves really, do having 2 of them in the box. Because
Lee Martin, in fairness, has been decent in the number 10 role since Steve Lovell took over, so you wouldn't want to be moving him around, I wouldn't have thought. Scored 2 in his last 3 as well. We're just starting to see Lee Martin getting hopefully somewhere to near his best.
You don't change, like, you've got O'Neill coming back, but
so bench.
He's not played for a while, so yeah, again, Mike's made a bench stronger.
So that could be the same 11. The only one I'd look at seriously might be Garmston to come in at left back for Connor Ogilvie.
But Ogilvie, I thought was decent last week.
He was alright again, yeah, but again, I like seeing pace in the side, and it'll just drive us forward. And if we're going to have to do, if we can keep them in their half, then obviously the further away the ball is from our goal, then the better chance we've got. But Ben Nugent, like they said in the paper's a big miss, because in terms of size, he'd have been a great one to go up against.
I think he got injured at the wrong time, to be honest. I think he was just
settling in and starting to play well, yeah.
Decent, yeah.
And he gave us good balance because he's left-footed centre half as well. He's proper old school in that he just heads it and he boots it. Literally, that's it. He can't play. But
then since he's been out, we've had like Zach Ryan's come back. Amar's improved with being
I think
alongside
Amar's
Zach
been
Ryan,
very
I think.
good the last few weeks, and I'm a big fan of his anyway, and I'm not just saying it, but I think he came through a difficult period at the beginning of the season, and then he adapted to play centre midfield and done a lot better than we thought, but he's slipped back in at centre half, and I don't think he's not had a bad game for a while now, so which is great. So that's the two predictions. You're going 2-0 Rotherham.
Yeah, sadly I'm going to go for a 2-0.
I'm going to go 1-0 and be super optimistic. Late wedding present, please, Jules. So yeah, and team, we probably wouldn't change it at all then, to be honest. If they're all fit, let's keep it as is. That is all from us this evening. Off out now down the pub. Last night of freedom. We will hopefully see you Monday for the Monday review to report on a decent result from Rotherham. But until next time, up the Jills.